So, today's in-game date is August 17th, 2026. That means there's about 2 months of racing left in this season. But right now, we are still in 19th place on the World Tour ranking. So we need to move up one position into the top 18 because that means we stay in World Tour. So yeah, we've got some work to do. And this will be our first race of today, the Adaxai Classics, a flat sprint in Germany. With Jonathan Milan 84 sprint at the start, so very hard to beat. I am sending Matthias Kopetzky and also Leitao, so in the race we'll decide who our leader is. So Leitao starts with a +1 race day condition, so 75 sprint stat. We've got Kopetzky with a -2, so 74, that's worse. Fox with a +2, so also 75. But actually, today's race is not completely flat. In the last 40 kilometers, there's 5 steep hills, so I shall wait to decide my leader until then. Okay, 43 kilometers to go, the hills are coming, so I've got my team well positioned because positioning will be key here. There we go, onto the climb, and actually we are pushing quite a bit with pole right, but I'm not exactly against that, so let's keep on doing that. Can we split the peloton? I think it's possible. Okay, very stretched out, but not split, so it's still together. But I am gonna try that for a second time now on the second climb. Not exactly working, no splits in the peloton. Looks like Ineos is now doing the same with Magnus Sheffield, so I'm not the only one that wants a split in the peloton. And actually, Ineos succeeds, 26 riders off the front with us in there, so I'm not complaining. But it looks like Jonathan Milan is also in this group, so the fast men are still here. One last time, onto the final climb. Steinar is now the one pushing together with Finch protecting him, who is done for. Can we make something happen on this climb? Lots of riders attacking on the right, and actually, I'm in this front group with 4 riders. Oh snap, they're attacking. We are in the wheel of Abrahamsen. Steinar, you can stop. You can make Del Grosso and Vacek work for this. Kopetzky needs to keep relaying with everybody here. Fox and Leitao are my sprinting options. I have to say, 9 kilometers to go. Kung, Ganna, Polit, Abrahamsen, Kopetzky, Fox and Leitao. What a race situation. Come on the right side of the road. Here we go. Fox, 2.5 kilometers to go, goes 99. Not all out yet. We've got 2 riders in our wheel. We'll start our sprint with Fox. We've got Ganna in the wheel, which is scary. Leitao launches now. Leitao versus Ganna. Leitao versus Ganna. No! Filippo Ganna is gonna beat us. We come second place in the Adaxai Classics. Fox, 3rd place as well. What a performance by the team, but Ganna was better. Ooh, what a race, man. I must confess, before this race started, I did not expect to finish with 2 riders on the podium. That is fantastic. Wait a second, that makes no sense. The Adaxai Classics is a World Tour Class A one-day race. That is 400 plus 325 UCI points for getting 2nd and 3rd. That is more than 700 points. That is insanity! After a single race in this video, we move up from 19th place, not to 18th, to 17th. How is that possible? So yeah, I guess that's the end of today's video. Just kidding. But now it's time for a massive race on our schedule. La Vuelta a España 2026 is here, our 3rd Grand Tour of the season, starting in Barcelona with a team time trial. And as you know, I'm not exactly a fan of a TTT. And actually quite a few versatile sprints for Kopetzky, so I'm not complaining. But I think the first opportunity for the breakaway will be on stage 8, this medium mountain stage, and I want to win that one. And of course, stage 10 is a time trial, so should be pretty good for Romeo. But it's fair to say stage 13 is the first queen stage to Col du Tourmalet. And in the last week, also Angliru, the hardest climb in cycling. By the way, look at stage 20. It's like the teeth of a shark. Anyway, it's fair to say this Vuelta has a pretty rough parkour. But I've taken a quick look through the start list and I gotta say not that many great GC riders, like Juan Ayuso is by far the favorite. And it's important to mention that La Vuelta is a sponsor objective for us, so we gotta get a top 10 in this race. So I think my goals are 2 stage wins and a top 10 in GC. And I think that should be possible with Ivan Romeo and Matthias Kopetzky at the start of this race. Anyway, time to begin the race with a team time trial, and I don't feel like riding this, so it's gonna be a quick sim. Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe is the winner, and our team finishes 13th on 1 minute and 3 seconds. To be honest, it could have been worse. Most of you know this, but I fell in love with pro cycling through Pro Cycling Manager in 2005. But actual cycling, myself, that started with Zwift.
Zwift is the go-to training app to make indoor cycling so much more enjoyable. If you want to try Zwift but you don't have an indoor smart trainer yet, you're lucky because right now you can get 10% off the full Zwift ride and Wahoo Kick Core 2 indoor setup through the link below.
On to stage 2 then, some actual racing, a versatile sprint stage I think, but for some reason Matthias Kjelmose is the favorite. But I think with 73 hill stat and 74 sprint stat, Matthias Kopecky should be able to do pretty well on this. I'm kind of hoping for a top 5. Okay, the race has begun. Looks like it's raining, but a +1 on Kopecky, so 75 sprint, I think I can work with that. 40 kilometers into the race, and Omerzel and Belocchi have already crashed, so not a great start. Anyway, a few K later, they're back in the peloton. Oh snap, Kopecki's down, Samuel Fernandez is down. That's 2 very important riders, but it's a large group down, including Kian Uiterbroeks and so forth, so I assume I will get back pretty easily? Yeah, we're basically back in the peloton already without doing anything. Just about 20 kilometers to go, and my sprint train is basically set up, but this final is quite technical. Lots of ups and downs, so I gotta keep that in mind. I am trying so hard to go as fast as possible into the foot of this climb to be in the best possible position, and oh, what was that? We're still on the road. There we go, 6.7 kilometers to go on the climbs as we speak, and our position is absolutely splendid, so let's try to keep this up. 99 on Omerzel, Energy Gel on basically everybody right now, because after this climb, it's downhill to the finish. So let's do 99 with Perikas right now. We've got 5k to go. Skjelmose on the right. He's not attacking past us, so that's good. We've got Romeo now. Should I go all out? Let's pause. Let's pause for a second and take a look. We've got downhill, then a bump, and then downhill to the line. So I think I'll get ready to launch Romeo on the next bump. And I think on that bump, I should be able to try and get something done. There we go, all out. We've got Serrano and Kopecky in the wheels. Kjelmose is having trouble, is kind of following Omerzel. Let's stop following with Omerzel. What is happening? Are we riding away with our entire team? I think so. There comes the sprint then. Kopecky on the left side of the road. I think I should actually give the victory to Romeo, because then I can take bonus seconds for GC or something. Now I'll just sprint for it. They can just sprint for it. It's a Vuelta stage. I will not gift it to one rider. Kopecky on the left side tries to pass Romeo, but Romeo might take it. No, he won't. Kopecky takes a Vuelta stage on day 2 ahead of 3 teammates. Wow. I did not expect that. That is undoubtedly one of the most broken finishes on PCM. Number 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 riders in the top 10 from P1 to P4. Matthias Kopecky wins again. But of course, our team time trial was so bad that we're nowhere near the top 10 in GC. For now, that is. A bit surprising, but Danny van Poppel is now in red, and Romeo is now 22nd on 40 seconds, so that's pretty good. But I've got a feeling that stage 3, a mountain finish on Arin Sal, is gonna be a bit harder, because I don't see us winning this from the peloton. And I don't really believe in the breakaway because it's only 160 kilometers, so easy to control. But I guess I'll try my best with Ivan Romeo to see how close we can get to the top 10 in GC. Okay, the stage has begun. I think I want to get to the front as fast as possible and want to get in the breakaway with someone. Despite saying that the break is most likely not gonna win, I do want a backup rider in there just in case. There we go, Serrano kept it together until the climb. Now Kopecky is gonna try and move up on 90 to try and jump in the break together with Fernandez on the left side of the road. There we go. That's a perfect move. Okay, over the top, UAE is sitting up, so the gap is expanding to 1:30. We've got a breakaway, but it's only 6 riders and it's not that strong. So like I guessed, I don't think this breakaway is gonna win. Like, I'm halfway the race and this break is back to being 4 riders, but what is the point in being in here because the gap to the peloton is like 30 seconds. There we go, back in the peloton, I decided to wait. Actually, there's a sprint coming up before the climb, so I'm trying to follow the wheel of Van Poppel as we speak with Kopecky, just in case I can get some points there. So we gotta try and get a top 5 at this sprint. There we go, there we launch a sprint, we are in 6th position, come on. We need to pass 1 rider, and we do. And we are getting third, I think, so we are now leading the points jersey. Matthias Kopecky is in green. And he's also completely done for, but that's understandable after a whole day in the breakaway. Anyway, we're now on the second last climb of the day, Col d'Ordino. And this mountain is actually the first one I climbed myself in real life, so It's a special one. I also made a video of that experience, so go check it out. 5 kilometers to the top and we're down to 3 riders with barely any energy. Romeo is being protected by Pericas with Tercero left in the wheel as a secondary domestique, but the tempo is dying out, which is great, but then again, I see Uitebrooks coming to the front to start pacing, so I don't like that. Actually, he's sitting up now, so that's great. In the last kilometer, and I'm feeling like I want to go for the KOM points with Romeo, why not? 10 free points, there we go. KOM jersey is also ours. But now we gotta make sure in the descent that Romeo recovers as much as possible, so maintain position 20 or something. There we go, past the halfway point of the descent and my yellow bar is almost back full, so this is looking pretty good, but the final climb is yet to come. Here we go, the climb has begun. Arinsal, 6.5 kilometers to go, so I can afford to go 87-86, but the tempo in this group is significant. That's an attack right there. We've got a Yuzo attacking together with Skelmose. That is not something I can respond to, but I'm just trying to follow. I want to lose as little time as possible. The gap towards the Yuzo is only 15 seconds. Romeo is still in the group with barely any protection around him. I'm trying to go, I can't go 88. I don't have the red bar for that. I'm just trying to hold on 87 as we speak. If we finish in the group, I'm okay. Oh, there's a couple riders riding away. Ayuso is going to be fighting for the stage when I'm probably taking it, beating Lenny Martinez in the final stretch, but where is Romeo? He's right here fighting for a potential top 10 position, which, that's pretty good. Let's go 99 in the final stretch, and we finish, I think, about 10 for 11th, so I'm actually quite okay with that. 11th. Like, I was never going to be able to follow Juan Ayuso on this climb, so getting 11th in that second group, that's a good result. And as a consequence, we move up from 22nd to 8th in GC, so top 10. Next to that, Matthias Kopecky in the green jersey. But thanks to the final climb, Ayuso is also leading KOM by 0 points on me. Juan, I'm coming for you, buddy. Ooh, stage 4 reminds me of stage 2, which we were pretty good at, so Skelmose once again the favorite on a versatile sprint stage. I'm sorry, but I've got more confidence in Matthias Kopecky for this. On the right is sign of Spain, so I think we're starting on the border of Andorra and Spain, but I don't think I'll go in the break on this one because, well, it's kind of just a versatile sprint. Kopecky with a +1 on the day, so 75 sprint, feeling good. So 60 kilometers left in the race and the climbs are starting. The break is down to 8 riders. It started with like 10, so they're falling apart slowly but surely. The gap to the peloton is about 2 minutes, so they're definitely getting caught, but I've lost 2 riders. Tercero and Omerzel are off the back of the peloton because, well, they crashed. Anyway, as long as Kopecky and Romeo stay on the bike, I'm good, but I gotta say, I wish it was sunny because Kopecky's green jersey, you can barely tell he has it in this weather. In the last 17 kilometers, still pretty rainy weather conditions, but the breakaway is getting caught as we speak, so that is fantastic. And I gotta say, my team is perfectly positioned. Come on, last 5.5 kilometers, Fernandez takes over from Bellocchi, who gets out of the way. We've got a sprint train for Louis Oski going off the front without Pinoet in their wheels, so not sure what they're trying, but it's not working. Romeo launches right now, NSGL on Kopecky, maybe a little bit too late, but we are looking pretty okay at the moment. 3 kilometers to go. I've got Romeo launching. Serrano in the wheel is ready as well. Serrano launches pretty soon on this uphill sector right now. Kopecky in the wheel is ready too. Looking pretty solid, but not that much energy on the left side of the road. Pinoet on the right side, despite a bad lead out, he's gonna win the stage ahead of Van Dijk, and Kopecky finishes third, but so close. I think I could have won that if I played it a little bit better. But if we get a podium spot on every stage like this, then Kopecky will be fantastic in the points classification, so I'm kind of happy. There is our man with 67 points at the moment. That's 5 more than Danny Van Poppel and 7 more than Pinoet. And also next to Kopecky, 6th place for Serrano, so that's good for UCI points. Okay, wow, stage 5 is basically the same stage, so once again the fake favorite is Skelmose, but I feel like we might be able to win this stage with Kopecky, so let's hunt that victory. Finally, some sunny race day conditions. We've got Matthias Kopecky in his not so beautiful green jersey. I really prefer the old green jersey of the Tour de France 2011-2012, the Cavendish green jersey, not this dark green piece of crap. What is your take? Do you prefer the old green jersey or this new one? I'm on the climb of the day as we speak, and Kopecky is surviving quite easily on this climb. So once again, just like the last stage, we're gonna be sprinting. Oh, 35k to go, crashed by Skjelmose in the Peloton, split in the Peloton as well. Lots of riders down, so Matthias Skjelmose, buddy, his entire team is waiting, so that's okay for me, but I'll keep on trucking in the Peloton. I was already pacing. Like, I'm sorry, I've never seen the PC wait for me in PCM, so why should I wait for them? Oh my god, the gap is gigantic. 1 minute 30 plus 2 minutes. He's a total of 3 minutes 30 behind. That's basically out of the top 10. By the way, the reason I was pacing to begin with is because there's still a breakaway ahead of 5 riders with a minute 30 with 16k to go, so I'm actually a little bit scared, so I gotta do my best to catch them. 10 kilometers to go and the gap is down to 1 minute. I'm not sure we're gonna make it. Kopecky looking okay, but the gap is still there, and it's not the best riders in the world, but Mas, Zukowski, Genietz, Kudus, Hermans, it's not that easy to catch. And actually, some late attacks from the Peloton to try and bridge towards that breakaway. 99 on Beloki is early, but I kind of have to catch the breakaway. Last 4.5 kilometers, 95 on Romeo, that's too much. 94, come on. Kopecky and Ishishel, we gotta go 99. The gap is still there, it's 25 seconds, so we gotta try and find a way to close it, but they are attacking and trying to get away still, but Serrano's next I will launch. Too early with Serrano. We've got Kopecky in the wheel. It's not gonna work, but I'm gonna try anyway. Last kilometer incoming. We're catching the breakaway. Kopecky launches on the left. Come on. Genietz on the right. Hermans on the right, but Kopecky. Oh, we just don't make it. So close, but I just ran out of red bar as I was catching the breakaway. Like, I would have loved to have another stage win with Kopecky, but I gotta say, getting 4th in front of all the other sprinters is once again fantastic for the points jersey. Matthias Kopecky is now on 86 points, so leading green by 23 points on Penouet. At this point, I feel like winning the green jersey is a realistic goal for our team. But I don't think stage 6 is gonna be too relevant for that green jersey. A mountain finish on Javalambre, a Unipuerto stage basically, so only one climb at the end, so I don't think the break's gonna win. Lenny Martinez is the favorite, but I think it's once again gonna be Juan Ayuso. And of course, I'll try my best to survive with Romeo for our top 10 in GC. So, we've got a breakaway on the road, 12 riders, and I tried to get Kopecky in this breakaway for the intermediate sprint, but that did not work. We've got Omerzel in here though, just in case the breakaway does win. We're just about halfway the race now, and the gap to the Peloton is 6 minutes with 90 kilometers to go, so I don't know about this. I don't think this break is gonna make it. I feel like the Peloton is about to speed up. Actually, 55k to go now, and the gap is 7 minutes 30, so I'm starting to believe. By the way, on this day, Jakob Omerzel is pretty fantastic when it comes to form. 77 mountain, 78 medium mountain against the likes of Guillaume Martin with 77 too, and Rondel as well 77, so that's my competition. So yeah, if this break makes it, we can win this. Okay, time for the last 20 kilometers. The break has 7 minutes, so it's definitely winning. Omerzel did spend some energy catching attacks from other riders, but we're still looking okay. Gotta try and recover as much as possible in this last descent. Ola, that's an attack. Guillaume Martin is going together with Wenzel at the foot of the climb. I'm trying to stay in the second group led by Igita and La Pera at the moment. That is not my gap to close yet. But now more attacks come. Such an active start to the climb, and I gotta start doing my own tempo now. It's 10 kilometers to go. I don't think I can go 85 yet. In the meanwhile, the Peloton is also starting the climb with Romeo in a pretty solid position, so let's keep it that way. Come on, Omerzel, the gap is 30 seconds to a group of 5 riders up the road. You've got this, bro, come on. Okay, last 5 kilometers, riders from the front group are starting to get in trouble? Nah, not really, so the gap is still 40 seconds, but I'm closing it down slowly but surely. I'm going on 85 at the moment in the last 4 kilometers. Come on, Jakob, this is yours. There we go, we made it to the front riders. We're now literally riding in first position, but my energy is not looking too bright, so I'm trying to pace as low as possible to make sure I've got something left for a potential sprint. Sweeney is done for Omerzel. Ooh, you're on a gap, bro. You're on a gap. I don't want that gap. I need to get back. Last kilometer right here. Come on, Jakob. Ah, we're out of yellow bar. We're completely out of yellow bar. They've got energy. I don't, so we will not be winning the stage. The stage is going to go to Mats Wenzel with 72 mountain stat. How is that possible? But we finish 4th place, which is kind of disappointing. In the Peloton, Ayuso and Ciccone have dropped everyone. I've got Romeo being protected by Pericas in the Peloton, running out of yellow bar in the last stretch, but I think I'll be finishing within the larger Peloton group, so relatively okay. Like, honestly, as you can tell, I am really bad at focusing on a breakaway and a Peloton at the same time. But I wish I rode even more passively on this stage because I really feel like a stage win was possible here. And now we get 4th, which isn't even a podium. Not surprising that Juan Ayuso is still leading La Vuelta, but we drop 1 position with Romeo from 7th to 8th. But hey, that's still top 10. But having just finished stage 6, I kind of feel like doing something risky. I want to lose time on stage 7 with Romeo on purpose. Because well, if I drop to about 4 or 5 minutes back in GC, I might be able to go in the breakaway on stage 8, win the stage, and potentially go into red. I know, losing time on purpose sounds like heresy, but I kinda wanna try it. But next to losing time, our main objective in stage 7 is top 10ing once again with Kopecky, I think, or getting as many green jersey points as possible. So, 20 kilometers to go in the final of this sprint stage, and so far nothing happened, so it's all about the final sprint. Kopecky with a -1, so not great, but still 75 sprint, so we can work with that. In the last 6.5 kilometers, Bellocchi is almost done for, so it's Omerzel time as we speak. Energy Gel on Serrano, almost on Kopecky right now. Come on, team, we've got this. 2.6, 2.5, almost there, almost there. Serrano launches right now at 2 kilometers to go. Romeo out of the way. Kopecky is ready. Kopecky is ready. Almost, almost, almost right now on the left side of Serrano. Kopecky versus Zangle. I don't think we have the speed, but can we podium? Can we beat Strong? I don't think we podium. We get 4th place behind Danny Van Poppel, Penhoet, and Strong. So once again, 4th. Like, I wasn't expecting to win a pure flat sprint, so I'm quite happy with a 4th place. Wait a second, what? We lost green to Danny Van Poppel? How is that possible? And also with a pretty proper gap, we're now 23 points behind. Looks like we might have a fight on our hands for the green jersey. Oh no, I forgot to lose time with Romeo on that sprint stage, so now he's so close in GC that I probably won't be able to get in the breakaway on stage 8. I knew I forgot something. Anyway, 160 kilometers, multi-mountain, medium mountain stage, so it's shouting breakaway to me. The game thinks Matthias Kjelmose are from the Peloton, but I don't see that happening. I think I'll try to keep the Peloton together on the flat start, but on the first climb, that's when I'll attack. And despite being close in GC, I still have to try with Romeo too, because he's our biggest chance. So, the stage has begun, and I'm doing exactly as I said. Kopecky is controlling this flat pod before the first climb. A group of 11 riders up the road, so actually, pretty strong breakaway already, but I'll try to bridge towards them on the first climb with some good riders. Right now comes the attack. There we go. Kopecky's done for. He has done his job. And now 3 riders in the breakaway. That is our plan. In the Peloton, UAE Team Emirates is pacing behind us. I'm gonna try and bridge towards my attack with Omerzel right now to try and demotivate Jossom of UAE. There we go. Omerzel makes the bridge and attaches his wagon to the back of our 3-man train. Okay, we made it to the first group. 9 riders on the road. Pericas, Omerzel, and Romeo are in it, but their energy is not looking that good, so I'm a little bit worried. But it does look like the Peloton is not chasing anymore, so that is a win. This means the breakaway has formed, but as you can see, I'm struggling to stay in it. Pericas is dropped. Omerzel and Romeo are holding on for dear life, but we're not the only ones. Everybody is in trouble. Okay, the race is settling down and it looks like we've got a group of 6 riders again. Romeo and Omerzel. Omerzel with a +1 day, so 78 medium mountain. He's better than Romeo today. But of course, considering GC, I can't afford to go for Omerzel. I have to go for Romeo. But sadly, with 60 kilometers to go, the gap to the Peloton, it's only 4 minutes. Omerzel is done for. Romeo is not looking that fantastic. I feel like the stage is not going our way. Guys, with about 30 kilometers to go, I am really worried about Romeo's energy. Look at his yellow bar, or should I say, look at where his yellow bar is supposed to be, because he doesn't have any. Our man is basically completely cooked. I think everybody might be done for in this breakaway, but guys, the gap is 2 minutes 30, there's 1 climb left. We can still do this, guys. To be clear, I don't think we can do this, but I'm trying to motivate my breakaway, okay? So, instead of collaborating in the breakaway, my companions decided to attack me, which is not great, so I'm stuck in the second group now, and I don't have the energy to close this, nor do I have the energy to stay in front of the Peloton on the final climb, which is led by Little Trek, and they're trying to catch me, so I think I'm doomed. Come on to the final climb. 40 seconds to the front of the race and also 30 seconds to the peloton right behind me. We've got Tercero in the peloton. So what if I try to go for the stage with Tercero and accept just losing time with Romeo? Is that an idea, or do I try to salvage the GC of Romeo on this one? It's 2 kilometers to the top, so I don't think that's gonna work. I have to go for Romeo, I think, because his GC is more valuable than a top 50 for Tercero. That being said, we're literally being dropped on this climb completely with Romeo on 3 minutes of the front of the race. So the stage started off pretty solid in the breakaway, but now it's a disaster. Come on, Romeo, try to go as fast as possible in this descent. Tercero is leading you out. Come on. We're losing 4 minutes. We lost 4 minutes in the last 7 kilometers. I think it's fair to say that was not how I expected that stage to go. Not only was Romeo completely uncompetitive for the stage with Juan Ayuso winning, losing 3 minutes and 44 seconds means that we dramatically lose our top 10 and are now 26th in GC on 5 minutes and 43 seconds. But hey, I guess the benefit is that I should be able to get in the breakaway without too much trouble next time. Our next stage, stage 9, is once again a medium mountain stage, but only 2 climbs on this one. Giulio Ciccone is the favorite, but I think I'll once again go in the break with Romeo. Okay, starting pretty close to the front of the peloton with both Omerzel and Romeo, so let's try to go to the front and try to go in the breakaway. Can we find a gap on the right side of the road? Yes, we can. There we go, 2 riders in the break. More and more riders keep attacking from the peloton, so now Arrieta is spacing again, so once again, the gap to the breakaway is lowering. This breakaway formation phase is taking so long. Riders are dropping off the back of the peloton one by one as we speak on the first climb of the day, which is also like half of the climbs on the day because there's only 2 climbs, but the break's only 7 riders, 6 riders. What is happening? Now, Omerzel is also off the back, so I didn't expect that. We're now with 3 riders in the breakaway. That is quite depressing, to be honest. I'm sorry, but if the peloton only gives me 2 minutes, I might as well take KOM points on this climb away from this breakaway, because otherwise, I'm not getting anything out of this stage. So, there comes the attack, and am I dropping everybody? I think I might be. Diaz in the wheel, we've got Pacher still in the wheel, and looks like we're getting the points. There we go, 10 points. And actually, we're now leading KOM again by 5 points on Ayuso, so we've got a jersey. Anyway, halfway the race, 4 minutes is the gap to the peloton now, but it's still 80 kilometers to go, so could still easily go to the peloton. Omerzel is doing all the work in the group together with the rest. Romeo is basically sitting up at the back. I want to save Romeo's energy as long as possible. 30 kilometers to go, and Omerzel is doing God's work in this breakaway. He grew the gap by himself to 4 minutes 47. So this breakaway is looking pretty good suddenly. All thanks to Omerzel. And actually, the peloton is now properly sitting up. The gap exploded to 6 minutes 24 with 18 kilometers to go. Romeo is only 5 minutes 43 behind in GC. So virtually in the Maglia... Okay, no, not the Maglia Rosa. That's the wrong race. The red jersey. Okay, here we go. The final climb begins. Omerzel is almost done for. 7k to go. We've got 5 minutes 30 to the peloton, so no virtual lead anymore. There come the attacks by... Is that Diaz? Yes, it is, together with Pelayo Sanchez, but I'm feeling pretty good. Come on, Romeo. You can close that. Oh, Sweeney's trying to bridge. I'm gonna try and follow that as we speak. There we go. Let's go to 87 to the wheel. 3 kilometers to go. Another attack by Pelayo Sanchez. I'm going 87 to try and close that down. We've got Diaz in the wheel. Sweeney is in trouble. Perhaps Pacher is looking pretty comfortable at the moment. Last 2 kilometers. Our red bar is not looking too fantastic, but I'm basically in the wheel of Pelayo Sanchez. The question is, can I stay in the wheel? And we've caught him. That is nice. We've got 1.3 kilometers to go. The sprint is coming. I don't have much. Do I trust Diaz? Do I trust Pacher? I'm gonna go for the wheel of Pacher in the last kilometer. There we go. Last 700 meters. Diaz looks better. I'm switching to Diaz. There we go. I'm gonna launch right now on the left side of the road. There goes Romeo. Pelayo Sanchez on the right side of the road. I should have launched early. Ay. We're once again gonna finish 4th? Really? Once again 4th? Oh, come on. Omerzel being caught by Juan Ayuso in the last kilometer, finishing on 4 minutes and 18 seconds, so we'll be moving up in GC until the top 10 again, I think. Pelayo Sanchez wins, and once again 4th place for Romeo. That is absolutely devastating. I was hoping for the win there. But Ivan Romeo is also 4th in GC, so the number 4 is doing something with us today, but 4th on a minute 29, that's pretty solid. And also, Ivan Romeo on the podium of this Vuelta stage, leading the KOM jersey, so that's pretty cool. Meanwhile, Matthias Kopecky still on 23 points off Van Poppel. Like so far, we've only managed to win one stage, but it's been such an eventful Vuelta all throughout. Moving up 22 positions into P4 in GC on a minute 29, that's a great spot. Next episode, we'll do the last 13 stages of this Vuelta, starting with a stage we could potentially win, a 24-kilometer time trial, and Romeo's pretty good at that. But also monstrous mountain stages on the menu, like the Col du Tourmalet stage on day 13, or Alto de Angliru on stage 17, the hardest climb in cycling. I am looking forward to the next episode so much to fight for our 3 goals. Green jersey with Kopecky, we're pretty close to that. 2 stage wins, we've got 1 of them, and also our top 10 with Romeo, which we currently have. But hey, that's for next time. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye!